Come on in. Come on in. Now come on in. Now come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hi, everybody. What's going on? I'm back. I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black. We're going to start with Queens of R&B. But oh, girl, just know. We're going to get into Housewives of Potomac. Make sure y'all like the video as y'all come in. It's good to see a lot of y'all back. Okay. Hey, Urel. How you doing, love? Okay. Purely Terry. Visual Taste. Thanks for coming back. So Iconic. Niecy. Zari. Stephanie. Terry. Your love angel. What's going on? A soft place to land. Come on. Kia like the call. Okay. Abby. Mrs. Wilson. Sonia. Adrian. Robin. Jennifer. Zodiac Palace. Jazzy. What is that? Shalai Fields, Crystal, Claudette, BC Brownie, Chocolate Diva, Preston, Coretta. What's going on? Kaylina, hey now. Chocolate Girl, Zyman, Alicia. What's going on, people? I'm excited. So let's get into the notes, all right? So the lead singers are usually the issue, y'all. Always and forever. The lead singer is always the issue. I don't know why, but it seems as if the music industry always seeks out to make the lead singer of a group feel as if they don't need the other members of the group in order to be successful. It's always a manager. It's usually a manager that the singer might be screwing, but ultimately it's always something where it makes the lead singer feel like, I don't need these people. Okay? When really some of y'all are better in y'all group, even if you're the lead singer. And I've always felt like that about Xscape and SWV. Like, at first, I didn't really feel like that about Candy and Tiny, because Candy and Tiny was like the music writing duo. And Candy would write really and produce great music for other people. So they still were making money and being famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, after their era. Okay? SWV, they left us, but then they came back. And when they came back, Baby, I'm ready. Listen, that first album that they came out with back in what that was, 2000 something, when they first came back out. I remember I was so excited for that album, and it did not disappoint from beginning to end. SWV knows how to make an album. They know their sound. They pick good songs. And all three of them are vocally capable. It's not one of those situations where Coco is the only one that can sing. She's not the only one that can sing. She's just the only one with that very unique voice. Coco's voice is just extremely unique. Like, for instance, Xscape. Xscape doesn't have any really unique voices with the exception of Candy, but they can all sing their faces off and they can harmonize, okay? It's the work that you put into it, okay? It's the work that you put into it. So y'all can barely hear me? I don't know, y'all, what's going on? My volume look good on my end. I don't know what's going on. Y'all let me know. But anyway, so like I said, lead singers always have the biggest egos. The problem always starts with the lead singer. When SWV was trying to get they stuff, yes, missed us. 2012. When they was trying to get their stuff back together, Coco was the main problem and the main issue. I ain't got to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't have to do that. Like, that was all she did all the time. And it was aggravating as hell, girl. Because a lot of us feel like we want to hear the whole group. No, I'm good. It was just them. Okay, good. That's what I thought. But yeah, I just feel like I'm glad SWV has gotten past this point. Their whole energy throughout the entire show was we've grown past that point and now we want this money, and we realize we make great money together, more than we would make, by ourselves. So we gonna keep this thing going with the group. And that's what I feel like they should do. That's exactly what the SWV girls should do. Now, when it comes to Xscape, I feel like it's a little different. If the people in Xscape want to sing and perform and be paid to do so very well, I suggest they do the group thing. But because all of them, have their separate things going on, I believe Tasha's in gospel, Tamika does plays and off Broadway shows and stuff like that. Tiny has Ti, and Candy has Bravo and, all of her business ventures. You know what I'm saying? So they don't necessarily need Xscape. SWV is different. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do. Taj might be the only one that doesn't really need to be there. Okay? And that's because of her husband. Shout out to her husband. Okay? But yeah, so I think the dynamics of the group are different. And because of that, it's just harder for Xscape to get to this place. Xscape has a lot of jealousy amongst them. And I'm going to just have to keep it a buck. Now, I could be wrong. I'm prefacing this review by telling y'all I could be wrong about what I'm feeling, but we're going to talk about it. First of all, I'm going to fangirl. Y'all already know, like, how much I love Candy, and I do love Xscape. I do. But when it comes to knowing some music, and really, like, listening, SWV, bro. SWV. I love Xscape. And there are some songs that get the same vibe from me. Okay? Child, don't even get it. Once the rain starts falling on my face, then you won't see a single trace. Right now I think I'm dying. Because of you I'm crying. I don't want you to see me cry. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Listen, we ain't gonna do it, but when them girls sing in the rain, may sound crazy, it may sound crazy, but I wanna go outside. Listen, everybody got a song, but SWV has always had, like, I don't know, it's something about their specific brand of R&B with hip hop beats in it. Like, I feel like they stayed in that, whereas Xscape might have started off that way with, kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Oh baby, shout out to Candy. They had that, but in order to soften up the image, because they were called the ugly girls back in the day, which I don't believe is true at all, but to keep it a buck, if we can recall, they treated Xscape terribly in the industry as far as how they looked until Traces of Lipstick came out and it was given a more sexual vibe, and then the energy changed. Okay, also some people had to die, but that's not, I'm just saying that's how it happened. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, the both groups have their thing, but yes, SWV stayed in the New Jack Swing era of music, and it works so well for them. Like, it works so well. Yes, I'm still discovering SWV vibes, bro. I'm telling you. Okay, listen. Don't even get me started. When I used to be so mad at Coco because she didn't want to perform downtown. Like, ma'am, the song has already been sung. It's already playing on the radio. You really not gonna give it to the fans because you love the Lord now? So you can't go, you don't go downtown no more because you love the Lord. Is that what you're trying to tell me? I know that's not true. So stop playing with me and sing downtown the ways of my love, and it goes round and round. You can't stop till you find my love. Oh, you can't stop. Hey, listen. You can't stop till you find my love. Oh, Stephanie, thank you for the super chat. I love them both, but SWV just hits different. Oh my God. Use your heart and not your eyes. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, listen, we're not even gonna do it. But yes, No, you are. And let's not even get into the remixes. What? Love will be right here. Be right here. Right here. Be right here. Don't you have no fear. Have no fear. Listen, we're not gonna do it. But somebody just said it. They make music for me to bump in my Jeep. And that's what I love. I love the era of R&B that is made for me to bump in my Jeep. Okay? That's your Jodeci's. That's your SWV. That's your Brandy. Okay? The early 90s Brandy. Okay? That's your guy. Okay, that's a little bit of New Edition, but when the Johnny Gill era came into play, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it Xscape too. Don't get me wrong, okay? But I'm just saying, like, I have a special affinity for SWV, and it's really because, like, when I was growing up, my cousins used to listen to SWV more. Like, girl, you couldn't tell me I wasn't Lily back then. You couldn't tell me that. Shout out to Lily. I love Lily. Lily looks good. Have y'all seen Lily recently? Like her birthday was just this past week, and she posted herself on her Instagram. I said, girl, I don't know who put you in touch with Dr. Jackie, but shout out to them. Okay, listen, shout out to Teddy Riley. Okay. Listen. So the premise of the show is they both want to come together and do a joint tour and a joint performance, maybe even work on some music together. Like, but they've grown up in this industry together, even though SWV is a little bit older. Hey, Armory, thank you for the super chat. I know how problematic Diddy is, but when Kim Porter died, he put me on When You Cry. I listen to that song all the time now. Girl, you do not have to make it, your apologies for Diddy putting you on music. If there's anything Diddy is supposed to do, he's supposed to put you on a hit. Take that. Okay? Thank you for the super chat. So Tamika doesn't want to speak on the comments that she made back in the day about Candy, because Tamika, it feels like Tamika back in the day, and honestly, probably up until recently, Tamika was kind of up her sister's ass a little bit, for lack of a better, more nice way to put it. Because I remember when she was going off on the radio about how Candy had sex with Jermaine Dupri and Jermaine Dupri's daddy, and she didn't sleep with everybody. That's what she do. And I'm just like, now why y'all always trying to slut Candy out? I don't, like, what does that do for people to slut Candy out? Like, what does that do for y'all? For any woman, I really want people to, like, assess themselves in those moments when they do shit like that. Because to me, it's always coming from a hater ass place. You can't tell me that you in your real life care about how much another woman has had sex. The only reason you would care to bring that up is to try to make that woman feel bad because you feel bad. So I've never been a fan of when people decide they want to get up there and talk about how somebody is ran through. Because, y'all, as a grown-ass woman, like, at this point, what's the mileage number for ran through? Because we're old. Okay, what's the mileage number, bitch? Okay. But anyway, she apologizes, for that. They got past it. Nobody wants to bring it up. But it feels like Tamika might have had that energy for Candy, not just because of her own feelings towards Candy, but because of Tasha's feelings towards Candy. And it always felt like Tasha and Candy were fighting for the main vocalist spot in Xscape. If y'all pay attention, even though the girls used to share a lot of the solo portions of the song. There are times when Tiny was doing lead vocals. There are times when Tamika was doing lead vocals. Time when Tasha. But because Candy had whistle register in a very deep voice, like y'all talk bad about Candy, but Candy's range is insane. For her to be able to do the every man wants a woman when him and her can just go hang. For her to be able to do that and then hit the whistle register high notes on You're My Little Secret. Isn't that You're My Little Secret? Or is it who Who can I run? Girl, what song is it with the whistle? Either way, we know Candy does it every time. Still at this age, Candy can get to whistle register. That shit is not easy. You only have it if you have it. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people age out of being able to do it. So I feel like, they always trying to play Candy when it comes to the vocals. But ultimately, Candy was like a lead singer for the group. More so, I feel like, than Tiny might have been. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that Tasha always probably had an adversarial type of relationship with Candy, because when they were going back and forth for lead singer, Candy was thin and Tasha was a big girl. And since then Tasha has lost weight, but obviously Tasha is one of those women that has held on to all of the slight, anytime somebody slighted her about her weight, she's held on to it. She might be smaller now, but she still has the same energy of somebody that is holding on to shit. They feel comfortable being a victim. They feel comfortable being angry, probably. You know what I'm saying? And also, like, as we watch more and more of the episode, I feel like because Tasha was insecure, that husband was able to get in a place with her where he controls her, and the mama too. And it's not that Tasha isn't in control of her own shit, but because of her insecurities, anybody that showed her any type of love, she probably held on to them tighter than she would have if she felt better about herself. So when we talking about Rocky, I feel like this is somebody, like a lot of the men in the industry, they find a woman who they can ride their coattails. It's not to say they don't really love each other, but from what I can see, I feel like that relationship has always been predicated on the fact that Rocky can make money off of Latasha, in one way or another. Okay. And Tasha feels as if she was just lucky to have anybody, love her long term, pay attention to her, all of that shit. Because you can't tell me he didn't dog her out. There were rumors not too long ago about him having another woman pregnant, and that shit just went away. So, it feels Tasha is not in control. No, it feels like other people are in control of Tasha, and Tasha might feel out of control, and so she tries to get her control and her power where she can. And unfortunately, that's with the group. I think with the group, Tasha feels like, first of all, she has like that jealousy situation with them, because they were smaller than her, or because Tamika had a bigger ass than she did. Like all of those like reasons that she felt insecure about herself, she compared herself to them, and probably has created, negative relationships with them based off of her insecurities more so than her interactions with them. And I feel like the mama, by the time we get to the end of the episode and the mama is mouthing that Tamika is jealous to Tasha, I said, oh, this is your fault. This is your fault. So when Tasha was the big girl crying on mama's, lap about feeling like she wasn't as pretty as the other girls, mama says, oh, they just jealous of you. Don't feel bad. They just jealous of you. Because that's what mamas do. They tell their daughters that everybody's jealous of them whenever they get into conflict. And what happens is you start to believe that. So now, whenever you get into it with somebody, they jealous of you, or you can't really see yourself clearly in the situation, because what's been drilled into your mind is, if I have issue with somebody, it's probably because they jealous of me. Even if you feel insecure and you are actually the one jealous, it still will play in your mind like they're jealous of you. And I think your mom reinforced that. The mom probably put more into Tasha because Tasha was the lead singer more so than Tamika. At least when back in the day, I remember that Tasha was, more so, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like the mom was like playing on their rivalry, like adding to it. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I honestly feel like they probably have long-lasting, deep-rooted issues that stem from the mom being one of those moms that likes to, play both sides or have her daughters against each other in some type of way. I don't get that, but I know there are moms out there that are like that. You know what I'm saying? There are moms that are like that. They really do kind of build these relationships with one kid, and then, have like more of a friend relationship and make the other one feel like they're on the outside looking in. And you never really hear what they have to say. You never really hear their point of view. You know, you only really care about the one that's your favorite. It's obviously favorites. Like, you can't tell me no different. Tasha probably was the good child too. Listen to everything the mama say. Probably was quiet. Tamika probably was a little bit more boisterous because she wasn't as insecure. You know, no one in the group treats each other like she treats them. No. And I'm telling you, and I feel like it stems from the beginning, probably of feeling insecure in the group and being told constantly that everybody's just jealous of you. Um, Maybe to make sure they have a built out bestie similar to mothers and their sons. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. They can always have somebody there. Okay. No, you're not too late. Hey, Erica. I haven't even really gotten into the notes, but I had to get it off my chest that I see this, this issue with Tasha. And I feel like she is unfortunately, the passive aggressive damsel in distress, allowing her insecurities to affect the way she handles herself and her business and her relationships with people that probably really do love her and care about her. And I think her husband, even though they've been together for a long time, they got a kid together, all of that, it feels just like another Kevin. Like you're another Kendu. You're just like all of the other men that get with these women. You pick out their insecurities. You zero in on them. You make them feel better about the insecurities. You make them, you make yourself their person. You isolate them. You big them up and then tell them that everybody else is, jealous. They don't understand. They don't get it. And then you use them and who they are, their gifts to your advantage while ruining their relationships with other people and weakening their self-esteem so that they will always feel so lucky to have your ass. That's what it feels like. That's what I feel like. So yes, Tamika and Tasha are not speaking because Xscape had a Vegas show and Candy and Tamika got locked out of their trailers for an hour and couldn't change clothes. And Tasha and, the managers just walked past them and left. And it was obvious that Candy felt away too, but Candy just kind of let it roll off. Tamika, on the other hand, because Tasha is her sister, was like, how you gonna walk past me and not make sure I'm good and just leave when we got locked out? You ain't even come and see about me in no type of way. And if the shoe was on the other foot, I would have done it for you. And I'm like, Tamika, is this a cycle that y'all go through where they make you feel like you're not a good enough sister and you all a good enough family member, you try and you do all of this extra shit for them, for your mama, for your sister, and then they turn around and play you dust when you need them? Is this a cycle? Okay. Because it feel like this is an argument that Tamika has been having her whole life, and Tasha has been giving her the side eye and cold shoulder her whole life too. Probably back and forth. One moment y'all good, and the next moment you're trying to make Tamika feel like shit just because you can in the moment, because it makes you feel better, right? Because you feel like she probably is more attractive than you because she got the banging body without the surgery. Like, I think Tamika's ass is real, even though she might have had like a tummy tuck or something. I believe she always had that ass, unlike some of these other ones on the show. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna speak to nobody, but I'm just noticing some things. Tamika, yeah. So it feels like, Tasha might be jealous of Tamika when it comes to like how she's seen physically, and therefore, kind of treats her like shit sometimes, or makes her feel like she has to beg for Tasha to give her a little bit of love. So yeah, she felt the way. She sent a text message to the group saying, whoever walked past us and didn't help us, you can kiss my ass. And then Tasha said, well, you can kiss my ass. And Tamika said, if you had an ass to kiss. And now Tasha feels like Tamika was body shaming her, and now she's the victim. And I was just like, girl, if you ain't got no ass, you don't have no ass. Why you feel ashamed about it? It was said to be mean. Oh, she had a BBL? Tamika had a BBL? Okay. I figured that she had a BBL, but I also feel like she always had a big butt, though. Like, that's what I feel like. I feel like the girls who have big butts, they go and get BBLs because something's wrong. Like, bitch, just get a tummy tuck. Like, what is going on? I guess they want the ass to be smoothed out. They think that's going to smooth it out and get, all of the dents and everything out of it. She had a BBL. Okay, I just know like she was shaped like that before the BBL. Like I know she had like she's always had a a shape since they were older. But yeah, it's some that's funny because Tiny was like this only because she hasn't bought one. I was like, right, go buy you a booty if it mean that much to you. Go ahead, go ahead, like the rest of them do. If it's bothering you that much, child, I feel like stay your ass in the gym and pick up some weights and build up the booty and stop feeling away about everybody that's around here with their ass leaking. Okay. Tamika's BBL is that's because she already had a big ass. That's why. Normally the girls whose BBLs look the best are the girls who already had a lot of ass and just wanted to look smooth or some shit. Or the smaller girls that get the small, the like, the low key BBLs, okay? The skinny BBL, whatever they call it. But yeah, like Wendy. When Wendy went and got hers done, looks way better, okay? But go ahead and let them buck your head up. Honestly, I feel like you ain't gonna bully me, bitch. This is the body that the Lord gave me. Y'all ain't about to bully me, bitch. Okay, that's really how I feel about it. Because I've been told because I'm a YouTuber that it wouldn't be the worst thing if I did it, and I was just kind of like, just because y'all have decided to change the the size of what's considered a big ass does not mean I'm changing my body to fit it. So I feel like don't let nobody make you feel bad about your body like that. I get it. We have those moments, but like you have no idea the complications that them girls probably go through with them fucking BBLs. All these old ass women. Can barely walk, but then go get a BBL. All right. Well, we're gonna pray for y'all. Okay, we're gonna pray for y'all. Okay, but I'm gonna stay in the gym, girl. I'm gonna stay in the gym, girl. I'm gonna stick with it. Okay. I'm gonna have an ass that's proportionate to my body. Thank you so much. I appreciate it though. So yeah, Tasha, yeah, she felt like they were body shaming her. I was like, girl, go to hell. Anyway, and then we see Tasha and Rocky and how they started out back in the day when he worked for R. Kelly. Um, Red flag. Rocky walked up to her boyfriend who was on tour with them at the time and said, "You don't need to be here no more because she gonna be my girlfriend now." I'm like, so basically, you had a man tell you that she was gonna be his girlfriend. Girl, I know back in the day, y'all thought that was real cute, right? You think that's real cute for somebody to tell you that you gonna be their girlfriend without asking you if you were going to be their girlfriend. Yeah, see, I don't think that's a good sign. I know y'all thought that was cute in the 90s. In the 90s, I know y'all thought it was real cute whenever abusive niggas walked up to y'all with this very, assertive quality. But at the end of the day, when your ass got older and realized that you was going to do what he told you to do no matter whether you wanted to do it or not, then all of a sudden that attitude becomes problematic. Okay? All right. Anyway, so yeah, their son is college age. He played college and ball. They're hoping that he played ball in college. They're hoping that he goes pro. Rocky says that he lives in the lap of luxury. He's been living on his own because of because of him. And then Tasha said, and me. He was like, yeah, you too, you too. So he was already leaving her out of the equation while taking, credit for how well their son lives, even though we all know that probably most of the money made has come from Tasha in some way or form. Like, I'm just saying, like, or from your opportunities because you're with Tasha. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't he become the road manager for the group in an interim at some point? So that means you didn't have a job at some point to go. Anyway, because we don't have all of the information, but something about I feel like when I first saw Xscape, they had a show a while back. I can't remember, but I know I didn't like Rocky on that show. Whenever the last time I seen Rocky and Tasha somewhere, I ain't like him. I can't even tell y'all what happened, but I just know I didn't like him. And the vibe I'm getting is Kevin, and the rest of you niggas that get with famous women so you can take their money and cheat on them. So yeah, there's an opportunity for the groups to perform together, but Tasha has issues with her sister. We see Tiny at home with the kids. I said, ain't it funny how Candy is the only person that can get these hoes on TV? because we couldn't get the T.I. and Tiny Family Hustle, and we wanted to see it because we wanted to know what happened with LaToya Luckett and Tommy. We wanted to know what happened, and we never got a chance to see that. But now, and it was because of T.I. and Tiny. That's so aggravating to me that we weren't able to see that show because of them, and yet here they asses is on this show saying the same thing they were saying all of those years ago, which really annoys me when T.I. and I know that Tiny is an old school woman, so like it must feel good to her to say often that, he really don't want me to work. And I'm like, but I'm good at it and I make money. And it's just like, and you're also older than him. And you also were a star before anybody even knew about him. And you also probably started off the relationship really taking care of your damn self. But now, because he is a big star and he makes a lot of money, you feel like you should be what? Pretending to be a fucking 60s housewife because now the drug dealer done made good? Girl, dumb shit if I've ever seen it. And listen, I don't care. You can dislike the video all you want. I don't give a fuck. I say what I say. Okay? Um, all right, I said what I said. I still have an issue with the fact that you still talking to us about that. And you've been touring and making money with Xscape for years now. And you still got to talk to us about how T.I. don't want you to work. And it's like, girl, like, wasn't you his sugar mama at some point? And now we sitting up here at girl. Girl, not because the drug dealer made good. Not now we a 60s housewife sitting at the house waiting on our husband to tell us whether we can go and work or not. Shut up. It just don't make no sense, y'all. Pretending, exactly. Like, stop. Like, leave us alone with this. So we see Tamika and her husband. He was Tyler Perry's head of security. I was like, oh shit. And it was big and muscular and all of that. She said when they made it official, she showed up to his hotel room, went into the bathroom, and came out with just her thong on. I said, I know that's right. Okay. And they've been together ever since. Xscape and SWV came together for a sit down meeting. Taj was the one really pushing for this. And she says that back in the day, Candy and Tiny actually wrote music for her demo, and that's how they got really cool. So they've always had good chemistry. When Tasha came in, the energy was awkward. She comes in when Tamika said, she walks by like she's Beyonce. That's exactly the way she comes in. She comes in with a dry attitude, as if she doesn't really have to speak to anybody, with her head high and her shoulders back, and it's the physical of somebody that is trying to project a certain amount of confidence in a room when essentially everybody in the room is on the same level. So why are you walking into the room with this superiority complex? It's because you don't feel as if you really are who you are. Like it's imposter syndrome or some shit where you really don't feel like you're the big star that you are. So you project as if you feel that way, and it comes off as ego or like a nasty attitude. Like that's what it comes off as, when really it's probably you feeling insecure and feeling the need to come off as I'm really not insecure, and that just kind of comes off like you being an asshole. No, Beyonce is like myself. Like at the end of the day, people can aggravate your nerves, but you know how important it is that people love and appreciate what you do, and you are always appreciative of people's energy because you know what it is to like work for that shit. You know what I'm saying? To work for that love. So no matter what, that's why sometimes when I see people act bad, sometimes I feel like, some of y'all are rude for no reason. And Tasha gives that vibe. Yeah, Beyonce gives I love my I love my fans too much to ever make them feel like I don't appreciate how hard they go for me. You know what I'm saying? And I very much have that same sentiment with my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Beyonce or anybody, but I know what it is, people to be fans of you and be excited to see you on the street and shit. And it never like makes me feel like it's always like, oh my God, me. And it's been years of this shit. And it's always like, oh my God. Hi. You know what I'm saying? Ask people who've met me out in public. I'm always so shocked. Okay? So yeah, Tasha definitely comes into the room with this like, awkward superiority complex shit. Tamika comes in, they don't hug, they don't kiss. She doesn't really, hi. Then Coco and Lily come through. Did anybody notice that Coco grabs everybody's ass? When she grabbed Tamika's ass, I was like, not. I was dying. Okay. Tasha is not excited about this possibility of a tour because they have issues to resolve in house. And Lily was already aggravated. Lily was like, see, this is what the fuck I be talking about, okay? Because I'm just trying to make this money. I'm trying not to go back to broke. So it's really annoying to me when we have these types of meetings and y'all want to come in with y'all fucking feelings. Don't nobody care about your feelings. Take your feelings off the table and let's make this money. Okay? And I was here with Lily. I was here with Lily, baby. I'm like, I feel like everybody needs to put their feelings in their back pocket and save it for after we clear these checks, bitch. You fuck about your feelings. Okay? Everybody need to grow the fuck up. Tiny says, take the personal, take a little bit of the personal out of it. No, take all of the personal out of it. I love Lily in this moment, bro. But SWV said we feel blessed to still be able to do this shit. And we know what it is that people want to hear. So we not about to keep arguing and fighting. We're going to get on stage. We're going to sing. We're going to do our 1-2, step for these people. Get this check and take our ass home. We ain't always got to get along or agree. This is a job. And see that right there? That's the mindset. That's the mindset that Xscape should have. And the funny part about it is the people that need Xscape the least are the people who have that mindset. No matter what, Tiny is always down. I can't remember why Candy wasn't trying to come back initially, but I also feel like it was probably because Candy had a lot going on and couldn't fit it into her schedule at the time, and they wanted to do it anyway. So they did it without her. But to me, I want to see Xscape as a whole. I hate when there's like not one person there. Whatever the original group is, we want to see all original people. Okay, SW made $500,000 to a piece for that private party. A piece? You sure? I don't think they made 500,000 a piece. I don't think so. But either way, child, I know they made six and a half figures. Which I don't know what, because six and a half figures could be 150,500. You know what I'm saying? That's six and a half figures. Okay. But I was thinking, did they make like 550,000? You know what I'm saying? 500 and split that 3 ways or something like that. I was wondering, girl. But either way, everybody get 250K. Everybody's better. I thought it was no. They got paid six and a half figures, is what they said. They lied on Candy, remember? Oh yeah. The whole thing. So she needed them to apologize about the whole shit before she came back to the group. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Coco's son is so cute. He looked just like a my sunshine. Remember when she did that song was right after she had him. Right to loneliness, sunshine. Oh my God. Can somebody tell him? Can somebody tell them? Somebody needs to tell them. I feel like they don't even understand that some of the best parts of their songs was when Mike was talking. Mike was my favorite. Like, he was the cutest to me. So when I was growing up, and also I always liked the deeper voice. So whenever he would come in on the deep one, you know what I'm saying? Doom, you could always break out, hear his voice separate from everybody else's when they would do their harmonies. So yeah, and then they played that man. He was on the Yanla. Boys to Men absolutely needs Mike back. I'm real sorry. Stop pointing fingers. The blame is on me. Okay, but then Candy didn't do that album. Yes, that adds up to 167K. Okay, a piece. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. Tasha is annoying. I definitely like Destiny's Child as a 3-person, than a 4-person. But see, that's because that happened at the beginning. That happened at the beginning. Like after album number 2 is when they switched out. This is different. These groups were in their entirety for the entire time. So at the end of the day, it's really not about the number. It's about, the original group that had the biggest hits. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, even though I ain't gonna lie, I would love to see a reunion with Destiny's Child with like all 5 members. And you heard me say all 5. Don't ever bring back Farrah. That is so unnecessary. But Latavia and Latoya, I absolutely would love to see like a show where they perform the songs, those original songs with them, because those were their vocals on the records. And those were their breakout hits. Those were the songs that actually got them known. Um, and then, when they broke up, they had Survivor, and then they had the Cater to You out. Like those albums were still bigger. You know what I'm saying? They got bigger and bigger every time. So I feel like ultimately it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But I would still love to see that. Oh my God. I could just see it. Like they come out with all 4 members, you know what I'm saying? Or have Michelle in there too, because Michelle has, performed those older songs too. No, 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 no. When it's really, yeah, 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 yeah. You can say no, 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 no. When it's really, yeah, 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 yeah. Boy, I know you want me, I can see it in your eyes. Why'd you keep on fronting? Want you say what's on your mind? Cause each and every time you near me, you give me signs. But when I ask you what's the deal, you hold it all inside. That was the shit. Yeah, nah, they could definitely come back and give a. That's the first song they need to come out on. Listen, yes. Oh, come on, y'all. Don't even zoo it. That for Writings on the Wall album was everything to this day. To this day. Interesting to me that Tasha was good and pressed being in a group even when Candy wasn't doing it. Then the group changed the spelling so that they could make music. Now she not with it, not feeling her. Honestly, I feel like it's really about the jealousy with Candy. I really do. I think it probably goes all the way back to them sparring for head spot in the group. But anyway, so yeah, we'll see what happens if they can bring this together. We see Candy's at home with the kids and Todd. Candy sitting up there talking about how she let Todd take the lead. Candy, you do not have to engage. You don't have to engage. You don't have to do this, okay? A part of me feels like the only reason she said that was because it's probably somewhat the truth. There are things that she allows him to handle because no woman who is, queen of the universe in her universe wants to handle everything all the time. The fuck I got a man for if I'm doing everything myself all the time? Like, no. Like, Candy should absolutely have things where she like, I'm not gonna do, that's not me, Ty, that's you. I'm gonna let you handle that, Ty, that's you. And that does not mean that she is not also still the powerful woman that she is. And I feel like she has to say that she, lets him run certain things, or Todd, really allow a Todd to lead when it comes. Girl, you do not have to express that to us. I feel like it's having to make up for the way people see their relationship as her being the sugar mama that's in control of everything, and Todd is just some fucking errand boy, which is so ridiculous and stupid at this point. Candy was Candy before she got here, but them being together has made Candy even bigger. Y'all gonna make me sing it? Leave me. Uh. I don't know if I got high today. The day you pissed me off, I told Mike to pick me up. I told him you was bugging and I don't like to fuss. He said he would look out for me if I needed a friend. He took me to his house and then he invited me in. And when we sat on the couch, he put his arms around my waist, knowing I need loving, and he didn't crack my face. He kissed me like a guy could never kiss a girl before. So you know what happened, baby. I need to say no more. I'm just confessing about the things I did. I might as well come clean. What you feel about that, baby? I'm just guessing, yeah, that you're through with me. Yeah. What you feel about that? I was mad, what was I to do? I never had it in mind to play on you. Listen, oh, you know. I was mad, what was I to do? Never had it in mind to play on you. But look at all I heard you put me through. You know. Listen, that was my shit, girl. Don't so it. Okay. Speaking of come clean. Come clean. Come clean. You know you stole that lady money, Tasha. Tasha, you know you stole that lady money. I wish you stopped lying. You stole that lady money, Tasha. Allegedly. That's what Tamika said, girl. That's what Tamika said. Tamika said her checks was going to your house and they got deposited into your husband's bank account. Seemed like you stole from your sister to me, girl. And your mama might have got a little bit of the money because your mama sitting up here talking about, that's not what happened. Tamika, When that mama mouthed, she jealous, I said, go to hell. It's her fault. It's her fault. Y'all was gaslighting the shit out of Tamika during this whole little sit down. Okay? Bondy, can you sing Temptation, please? Let me think. I can't remember how that one go. Thank you, Ronald, for the super chat. Temptations. Hold on, let me think. I gotta remember how that one start. Give me the first lyric. Cause I can't remember how Temptation started. I know you see me watching you and I see you watching me. Cause boy, your body's calling, the temptation is killing me. I know you see me watching you and I see you watching me. Cause boy, your body's calling, the temptation is killing me. I'm chilling at the spot, got my pockets both deep. Had my man on my mind, flip my hair, what did I see? The fella looking fly, that was one that caught my eye. So I bit my lip and switch my hips as I walk by, saying, sexy boy, you so fly. I just might give you a try. I'ma write your number in the palm of my hand. Oops, I forgot I got a man. I know you see me watching you and I see you watching me. Cause boy, your body's calling. Y'all got me in this bitch. We gonna be listening to Destiny's Child later, bitch. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, y'all, to break it all the way down, the mama, come over here so we can sit down and talk. But you could really tell that their mom was already on Tasha's side. Tamika did this whole explanation, this whole, dramatization of how Tasha walked past her. And Tamika, the mama just sat there laughing and saying that she was jealous. And Tamika's daughter, Ocean, was there, and she was just in the background laughing like, come on, mama, let's go, once everything got all upset and heightened. And they pushing back and forth, and the mama like, y'all get these cameras out my house. Get these cameras out my house. And I'm just kind of like, the mama ain't, I'm sorry, the mama low down. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry to talk about your mama like this because I don't want nobody talking about mine. But she wrong. Why would she mouth she's jealous of you? Why would she mouth that? That was so fucking messy and underhanded for her to do. And like, come on. And now you're gonna tell Tamika that she didn't steal from Tamika. Like, oh, you didn't? I still got the evidence. You could still go to jail. And that's when the mama was like, oh, cut the cameras off. Which made me feel like it's a possibility it might be true. But it's a lot of you older black people, y'all stop growing at a certain age, and I don't know why. I don't know what happens with black people where y'all get to around 40, 50 years old and you decide that you know everything and there's nothing more for you to learn, so you stop learning and you handle most situations in the most delusional, ignorant way possible. That's so fucking exhausting to me. It's so exhausting for you and to me, it feels like, did you really mature or were you always just a teenager this whole fucking time? You know what I'm saying? The stunted growth of some of you old people is ridiculous to me because that was some dirty shit to do. That was real messy. That was real childish. That was real fucked up. How are your children ever going to stop fighting when you are inciting the foolishness? Somebody call Iyanla. Or y'all can wait for me to finish school and then y'all can call me. Okay? Y'all can wait for me to finish school and call me because I want y'all to have me on these shows once I get my certification for counseling and all of that. Once I get once I go back to get this graduate's degree. Okay? Listen, not I'm 43 shots fired. Listen, I'm sorry. I mean, the people who are mostly like that are in their 50s and 60s now. The 40-year-olds, y'all are still young enough that there's still more for y'all to learn for the most part. But see, all you I was born in the 70s and, early 80s ass people, y'all make my head hurt. 71 to 79, 71 to like 85, y'all make my head hurt, because y'all really be feeling like, there's nothing else for y'all to learn. Y'all really don't accept new information that well. Somebody tell y'all something that's, something that's they used to think it was that way, but now there's new information. You know how science works? Science is like the more you gain new information, the more you assess your overall conclusion. So if you get new information, you should be assessing your overall conclusion about any and everything. But it seems as if there's a subset group of people that it doesn't matter how much new information that they get, they refuse to accept it and no longer reassess their ultimate conclusion as if they know everything simply because they've aged. It's so sad. It's so sad. I appreciate all you I'm willing to learn people. I really do. I appreciate y'all. Okay, it ain't everybody. No, it's not all of y'all. But it's not true, Bondy. Oh, it's not true. Oh, it's not true. It's not true. Word. Okay. I'm wrong. Okay, I'll take that. It's not Gen X. It's boomers. No, it's some of y'all Gen X too. It's some of y'all too. Oh Lord, not my generation. Yes, you heard what I said. 71 to 85. Some of y'all have a real hard time with new information. Yes, y'all do. Yes, y'all do. I don't care if you mad about it. You can give me a thumbs down. I don't give a damn. Why y'all gonna be mad at me like I don't have 50 or 11 older cousins and family members and people I know that are like this? Why y'all gonna act like I don't have a whole bunch of people to back up this assumption? Oh my God. I'm wrong, y'all. I'm wrong. That's what y'all gonna tell me I'm wrong. Hold up. Where is that? There we go. We about to get into Potomac. Okay, make sure y'all like the video. Go ahead. Keep disliking the video. I don't give a damn. Y'all know you can see. Every time y'all thumbs down the video, I can see it. I can see it when y'all thumbs up it too. But y'all, to see the thumbs down flying across your screen is a whole nother thing, boy. 85 is not 35, sweetheart. Okay? Because I will be 35 this year. I was born in 1988. Okay? I'm 1981. Hey, what's your point? What's your point? It ain't slander. It is not slander. Some of y'all don't know how to accept new information. Why is y'all mad at me? Keep disliking it. I don't give a fuck. YouTube still doing the same thing, whether you liking it or disliking it. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Go ahead. Come on. Come on. You still watching? Come on. Okay, listen. Listen. Don't be mad. Be better. Y'all don't want to hear that, though. Anyway, because now I'm about to get into Real Housewives of Potomac. So if you was mad before, bitch, get ready to be even more madder. Because now I'm about to really get into some shit. Girl, I ain't thumbing down over that. It's not true. But since I said that, I done got 4 more dislikes. Yeah, y'all. How long y'all been watching this video for a fucking hour? And now y'all gonna dislike the video? Y'all ain't shit. Anyway. don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, listen. I used to care about likes and dislikes. I used to feel away. Okay? I don't care no more. Care what you, I don't care. I don't care. So let's get into Real Housewives of Potomac. Listen, hold on. Not them disliking and proving the point. That's what I felt. I felt like all of dislikes was people proving my point. Because if that's not you, then I'm not talking to you. Look at it, they still dislike. Oh my God, I might as well say your mama. Okay. Anyway. Thank you, Makai, for the super chat. By my mom was born in 83 and agrees with you. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, it's not all of y'all. Of course it's not all of y'all. But I mean, how else can y'all explain? Like, fucking regressive. We are regressing in time. Everybody's acting like these old traditional oppressive ideas were better. And then y'all are acting and y'all acting like I'm crazy? Okay. Listen. Give a fuck. Yes, I did see about Married to Medicine. They fired Anila and Dr. Contessa, and they bringing Phaedra on. Child, I don't care. We'll see. We'll see. Because I don't feel like Phaedra brings anything, really. We'll see. Jonah, thank you for the super chat. Do you still like the show Real Housewives of Potomac? I feel like it's more frustrating than entertaining. It's been that way for the past 2 years. I don't really like the show as much. It's not that enjoyable to watch, but I make a good check off of it. And until reality TV give me something else, I'll stick with it. I don't mind having these annoying ass conversations with people. I don't mind being inflammatory. So, it don't matter to me. I'm still gonna have my opinion, and that's what it is. Okay, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Phaedra's phony. Like, do we really need another person that knows how to produce themselves on a reality show? I don't think so. I think we need new blood. I think we need people who don't know what they're doing, because you get people like Phaedra and they may be funny on camera, but essentially when it comes to story, they know how to produce themselves. So they're not going to give us anything good. They just going to give us ass and cute little comments, written reads and shit. But yes, y'all, let's get into Real Housewives of Potomac, because we're going to be here for at least another hour. Get your motherfucking snacks. Okay? Get your snacks. So the episode starts off with Jacqueline and Mia going back and forth. And if y'all recall, if you've been here with me this whole Potomac time, then you heard me say that eventually I felt like by the time we got to that trip, that Jacqueline and Mia had conversations and decided what they were going to come on the show and pretend to fight about. But somewhere along the way, Mia got upset with Jacqueline for being likable and decided that she was going to make her adversary so that she would not get a seat on the show. I feel like I said that. I said that they felt fake to me. That I felt like they were arguing about things that they had agreed to argue about beforehand, which is why certain stories didn't make sense. Because Mia lies so much, she can't remember her lies. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm going to just go across the board. Fire Mia, fire Robin. Karen needs to be on like a, you're coming back next season, but we'll see the following season if the show should even still be on. Giselle needs to be demoted as a friend to the show. I don't know whose friend she's going to be. Maybe Ashley's. Ashley should stay on the show. Wendy should stay on the show, but Wendy needs to bring a friend that has less shit to lose. Okay? She needs to bring on, a homegirl, that can have her back, but that can also be slightly inflammatory to the group. Because they're already going to make Wendy an adversary. They're already going to put Wendy on the outs. So if we bring somebody on that is really friends with Wendy, then we can create a different dynamic on the show. But I do believe Giselle should be demoted and Robin and Mia should be fired. The only reason I'm saying Giselle should be demoted is because I don't feel like they will fire her. But honestly, I feel like they should. I feel like she should get fired because I think that she actively chose to lie about a situation for a storyline. Mia did the same thing. Robin, you didn't lie on anybody, but you kept your true tea from the show in such a way where you were really going out of your way to keep it from showing up on the show. So for me, and then you also, I think, continue to create these very you didn't lie on anybody until the end when you decided to try to make it seem like Karen was saying that Juan assaulted her when that's not what she said. Because you decided to do that in order to get back at her, you need to be fired. Like those two things to me, Robin, you need to go. I really hate to say it. I don't like to speak like that on other people's lives, but you need to figure out something else to do for money. But Mia needs to go. You can't trust anything Mia says. You can't trust anything she's giving us. You mean to tell me your husband had prostate cancer this whole fucking time and we ain't never heard about it, but yet y'all pretending like y'all fucking everybody on the Eastern Seaboard together? You basically made it seem like you and your husband had this, freak nasty sex life when really his peen barely works. And you pretended like you had cancer when you had a rash. He was the one that really had the cancer scare, and we didn't hear anything about it until you decided to use it to back your ass out of a corner when Jacqueline was calling you to task for all the lies you told this season. See, Mia, the fact that you would even hang your husband out to dry like that, we should never, if you were going to lie to protect his penis this entire season, you should have did it all the way up and through the reunion. When she said that shit, I was like, bitch, you wrong. And if I was your husband, I'd have been mad at you for putting me on blast like that. Like, I'd have been mad, bitch, you telling me where my dick don't work. Like, you weren't supposed to tell nobody that. Especially not if y'all wasn't going to share the actual cancer scare. Like, that's different. But the way you threw that shit out there to save yourself because you got caught in all of your lies, Mia needs to go. Okay? But Jacqueline says that Mia was never the CEO of the company, that and then Mia comes out with a bedazzled box that had nothing in it. She read no receipts from it. Jacqueline says Gordon was asking her where Mia was when she was in Atlanta. Mia says, well, I went to lunch with my ex-boyfriend's mom. No, you weren't. You were probably going to get dick that works from an ex-boyfriend. Okay, that's usually how these things work. You want to fuck with somebody who you know is not going to tell on you. You want to fuck with somebody whose dick you already know is good. You're going to go and fuck with an ex. Jacqueline says Gordon was, yeah, so she said me and we worked it out. We got past it. But it's like, when did that happen? Mia, was that another situation that was happening in real time while you were on the show and we didn't know about it? Anyway, Andy asked if Jacqueline sleeps with married men. She says, no, that's a lie that Mia told. I don't sleep with married men. And this is when Mia says the only reason why I said she slept with married men is because she told me I needed to get more penis, alluding to Gordon having prostate cancer and his penis not working. And it's like, girl, we didn't know that. We didn't know that. I don't think Jacqueline was going to spray that information. So you decided to spray that information also. You can look as if you're not as bad of a liar as you are. But to me, the fact that we can't trust anything that comes out of Mia's mouth, out, how her and her friend. Okay. Andy points out Mia slept with Gordon when he was married. And she says, yes, I did. And I shouldn't have. But I admit it. She's lying. This is another thing I don't like about Mia. Mia, you shame people about the very things that you do. And then when they flip it on you, you act as if you have no shame. So then do us a favor with your dumb ass. Stop using the things that you aren't ashamed of to shame other people. Stop it. It's stupid as fuck. She's done it several times, y'all. She's done it several times where she will bring something up. And then when somebody says you did it too, she says, yeah, but I didn't lie about it. I didn't lie about it, but I also don't want my business out on Front Street. Can you shut the fuck up? Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Mia works on my nerves. Mia needs to go. Mia needs to go. And then on top of that, Jacqueline says Mia was the one posting stuff about her online before the show even came out. She was, setting Jacqueline up to look like, some crazy person who had lost her home. And Jacqueline was like, well, I didn't lose my home. I still have my home. She's the one without a home. And then they said that they lied about the Porsche situation. Mia wanted Jacqueline to lie about the Porsche situation. Mia then says that she and Gordon inspired her to become entrepreneurs. And it's just like, Mia, go away from us with this. And I see you DMing people, sending them cease and desist orders and all of this shit. And then you all in everybody's comments and shit. What does Erica say? Erica, what you always say? Go back to being a civilian. Go back to being a civilian. You're not interesting. You're a liar. Okay? You're annoying. There was no point in them giving you there was no point in them bringing you back for another season if this is all you were going to do. Okay? Now, I don't know what everybody is supposedly lying about that got you sending out cease and desist orders and all of that, but my DM's so packed, I probably wouldn't even see it. So don't waste your time. Okay? And another thing, I'm going to tell you like this. I wasn't even going to talk a private citizen. Yeah, she needs to go back to being a private citizen. And I'm going to tell you like this. If it was not for the fact that it was in my notes to talk about, I would have left out every portion that included you. Because I don't think you should be on the show anyway. So do I care enough to post stories about you or read all of your tweets? I don't. Do us all a favor. Go back to being a private citizen. And save your email ink, okay? Y'all know email don't have ink unless you print it out. I'm being facetious, but I'm just saying, don't send me shit. Okay? Don't send me shit. I don't care, okay? Anyway, Charisse comes out. I'm trying to get the cartoon character that Charisse looked like out of my head right now. So Charisse comes out. I didn't like that when Charisse came out, they moved Ashley and Wendy to the end of the couch and then put Charisse next to Giselle. I didn't like that. I don't give a shit that Charisse was on the show before. I don't give a shit that everybody else likes Charisse. Y'all decided that Charisse wasn't interesting enough when y'all dropped her from the show 3 seasons ago. Stop fronting on us like, there's some other reason besides the fact that she wasn't interesting and she didn't want her very messy divorce. She didn't want that to be on camera. So I'm just, not Dejanay. No, not Dejanay. Not Dejanay at all. I'm going to leave it alone. I've referenced it before, but I'm not going to do it right now. I don't want to do that to that woman. I don't want to say she looks like an animal cartoon character. I don't, okay? I don't want to be that rude. She did the best she could. But I'm going to just say this. Charisse, if you got it, flaunt it. And all you got is them titties. So next time, showcase them titties. If you have big ass titties, don't lock the titties up. Don't wrap them in garments. Give us the cleave. Okay? That's all you got is your titties. Give us the cleave. Okay? Because you covering them titties up and wrapping them up in a blue wrap like that. It looked like you was stuffed in that dress. It looked like you could not breathe, ma'am. Okay? So next time, just give us a little cleave. Or we could have took a little décolletage and it wouldn't have looked like you were so crammed up in that dress. Okay? But the wig was wigging better this time, okay? But yeah, Robin explains that everybody loves Charisse, okay? Because y'all know how we felt. We felt like Giselle and Robin brought Charisse back to fuck with Karen, okay? That's what we felt. I'ma say, just like Karen said, Andy, you and the producers may have brought Charisse back as only y'all can do on y'all show, but essentially, who asked you to do it? Like she said, Karen asked that on Watch What Happens Live. Who asked you to bring Charisse back, though? And Andy didn't say anything. So to me, this is once again where Andy is probably arguing on behalf of Giselle, and we just, we weren't privy to the conversation between Giselle and Andy. But Andy feeling the need to let Karen know that, we're the ones that asked Charisse to come back. It's like Charisse had been filming with the women this entire time, and we hadn't been seeing her. And now all of a sudden we're seeing her. Why is that? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I feel like the production of Real Housewives of Potomac is very weird. I wish someone from production would quit and come talk to me. Get another job first, of course. But oh my god, like this show has to be exhausting to produce. Um, so they tried to make Karen answer more questions about why she didn't receive Charisse during the season, why she didn't receive Charisse coming to her mother's funeral. Karen, listen, I really do not want to talk about my mother's funeral anymore, and I won't. Respectfully, I decline to answer any more questions about my mother's funeral. And I'm just kind of like, Karen, this whole thing, let me explain. I'm not even about to go through all of this with y'all. Charisse came on the show knowing that the only way to get camera time was to fight with somebody, because you being friends with people don't matter. Okay, so she knew that she had to fight with Karen in order for her to be seen on the show. That's why Robin and Giselle kept forcing conversations between them throughout the season, because they want to get Charisse back on the show. The only way to make the producers bring Charisse back on the show was to show reason for why. Why? You've been taping around them you've been at all these events. We've seen you in the background, but not on camera. Why now? Because now they've made it make sense for the storyline. Now let's talk about Karen. Karen, I know you don't want to admit it, but the only way that you was going to be able to knock these hoes off was to just say, listen, I know y'all trying to out whatever I got going on with me and my husband, but whatever me and my husband got going on is between me and my husband. And if you don't have any real like facts and pictures and all of that on me, then I don't know what we talking about. And then when it comes to my mama's funeral, I said I didn't have a problem with the fact that she came as long as she didn't bring it up. And she waited till she got on this show and then she brought it up, which meant I was right about her being thirsty to come back on the show. Like it's very simple. I feel like Karen is just old school and doesn't want to embarrass Ray. But the only conversation they had was that they were going to continue to act as if Karen doesn't have her little boo or boos outside of the marriage. Because when she went and said, no, Ray, they asked you, how did you feel about the rumors of me cheating? And he said, oh, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. That's because they're people of a certain age. And people of a certain age are not going to not feel embarrassed about it. Whereas really younger, and I'm just saying, like they're of a certain age. Once you get of a certain age, you ain't about to admit what your situation is. It's just not how people of their age range are groomed to behave. They do what they do, but nobody talks about it. That's that era. This is the era of I did whatever we doing is what we doing, and I don't know why you worrying about it. Mind your fucking business. Like that's this era. That's the era that we in. So that's all Karen had to do, was to be like, whatever we got going on, whatever our situation is, this is my husband, I'm his wife, and that's not changing. So whatever you think you know, it ain't none of your business either way. So if you can't show it to me, if you can't let me see it, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. And that was what she tried to do, but she couldn't explain allowing Charisse to come to her birthday party. And she could have simply said, oh, well, I wanted to stunt on her. I wanted to stunt on her. My 50th birthday party was amazing. So I invited her because I wanted her to look around and see how good my life is and feel like shit. Because she tried to make me feel like shit when she tried to out me on a reunion a few years back. And I kept it cute with her, but when I saw the way she was moving, I wasn't feeling it. And as a woman, I have the right to change my mind about whether I want to fuck with somebody or not. So yeah, I invited her because I wanted her to see. I wanted her to see what it looked like. Okay? Because she don't know what it looked like. She ain't got no man helping throw no party for her. Don't none of them know what it looked like. Don't none of them have a man sitting behind them every reunion show showing support. Ray Ray. Okay, Karen is trying to show y'all something. Okay, now Karen is an older woman, so I think in the way Karen is, I think it's harder for her to hit the marks with the wit. As smart as she is, I think it's hard for her to vocalize some of these things sometimes. And that's why y'all need young women on there. Y'all need young women on there that's gonna be quick and respond to this shit. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, um, the situation is that Sharice and them, I believe, have been trying to get back in good with Karen because they thought that would get her back on the show. I think at some point somebody must have said, listen, we're not going to get Sharice coming back on the show proving that she's friends with everybody. Let her get into it with somebody in the cast that's more interesting. Then we can bring her back on the show. I'm sure the producer said that. Because that's what it feels like. You've been around all this time. If Karen been giving you her ass to kiss, why you keep trying to be cool with her? Make it make sense. Okay? Child, Giselle literally has never had anybody sit behind her. That's crazy. Not a once. Not a once. That's what she called Ray. Ray has been there every reunion without pause. Okay? To advise reality TV stars on their storyline. Child, that's what I'm trying to get this counseling thing for. I think that's a part of it in order to do it in a healthy way. Ray's still the breadwinner. If so, I see why she doesn't want to embarrass him. Bag secure. First of all, Ray is 80-something years old and they've been married for 20 plus years. Karen's bag has already been secured, okay? It's called life insurance. Okay? Her shit has already been secured, okay? It's not about that. You know what I'm saying? You love your husband. You just like to have sex with other people. You just and you don't want him to be embarrassed by it. So, and the only people who are gonna make him feel embarrassed about it are the other people, these women on the show. But we all know, like, Ray's like 70, almost 80 years old. Like, and Karen is only just now 50, 55, something like that. So yeah, like, or 59. Isn't Carrie like Karen 59 and she invited her to the 55th birthday party or some shit like that? Either way, Karen's almost 60 years old. She might be older, but, her shit ain't out of commission yet. Thank you, Brianna, for the super chat. What Candy say? I want some of them to see what success looks like. Karen should have said that. For real, because that's probably why she invited her, to shine on her. Duh. Okay? You need to write scripts for TV and movies. I think they keep in secret love of their child. Ashley's a flip flopper. Juan has left the Bat Cave and is answering to but didn't she have Sherman there in season 2? No, nobody has ever sat behind her at a reunion show. She might have been with Sherman, but I'm sorry, y'all. I want everybody to pay attention to the way that Giselle dates. People like her because of her looks and they like how she projects herself. But as soon as they get to know her more and see how fucked up she is, she becomes less attractive. Okay? Y'all can blame whoever y'all want to blame. But if Sherman was really into Giselle like that, Monique bringing his ex on the show, Sharice bringing his ex to Monique's party on the show would not have fucked up their relationship. You know how many times I done been around ex of lyrics, like okay, one of them is the homegirl. Like, it's so what? Okay, like, if you know your position, you know your position. Okay. Sherman was at the reunion but never on the stage. Okay, I'm gonna say I do not remember anybody ever sitting behind her. Hey, Devin, thank you for the super chat. You should be one of those people that prep politicians and celebrities for interviews. That would be fun. That would be fun because they really don't know how they come across sometimes. Somebody who kind of starts to pick up when they're being manipulated, I can always see when I'm being manipulated in things. And people be thinking I'm crazy. But anyway, y'all, ultimately, Sharice and Karen, like, Sharice, you were trying to out Karen because Karen stop fucking with you. I think a way to get you back on the show was to make beef with her. I think that's what you were doing. Karen recognized it, and Karen kept trying to block you at every front, which is why she wasn't fucking with you throughout the season. But I think, yeah, she did invite you to events to shine on you. She did. And it doesn't mean she likes you. That's how it makes sense. But can Karen actually vocalize that quickly in this format? I don't think she can. Um, when Karen started filing her nails, okay, listen. Andy is just real funny to me. She's just so old school funny. Andy clarified, hold on, I said that part. Karen attacks her character first. Did she? Did she attack your character first, Sharice? Because it don't feel that way. Karen says she never exposed anything sexual about Sharice because she has children. We already heard that Sharice and Katie might have kitty clicked in the past. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's even more reason for y'all to bring Katie back. I saw that Katie is also suing Ashley. I was just like, child, Katie is trying to do whatever to get back on this show. Mia explains that someone Karen was out with in the picture was family. Mia, you're always lying. I can't believe anything you say. I honestly am looking at you sideways as fuck. I feel like we always knew that Mia and Karen weren't really friends. But damn, bitch, like, if your friend is keeping the lie alive, you're not supposed to then go and say, well, friend, I heard something else. So it's not just Sharice. Don't put it all on Sharice. But that's because Mia is like Connie. She's a do anything to take your man type of bitch. And that usually means that she's willing to do whatever to do what she feels benefits her. And for Mia, it benefits her to be cool with as much of the cast as possible. So she would throw Karen under the bus to be cool with Sharice because she's recognized how Sharice is important to Giselle and Robin. Okay. And she, Mia is all about the opportunity in the situation, which is another reason why she needs to go. If you can't even be, a friend to the person that brought you on the show, like, and then you lie about everything. So we can't even trust anything you say. Get her off of here. I really would like to not see Mia next season. Karen tells Mia that she has to stop throwing lies out. Robin jumps in and says, people who we know tell us about each other. Is that right, Robin? So that means that Karen probably did know about all of this shit that came out on TikTok before the viewing public knew it, right? Everybody knew about all of these women that Juan had been fucking around with before we knew about it. But whenever Karen brings it up, you're going to act like it's not true, right? Like it's not real because she doesn't have a picture, right? And then after the show, goes off, we get all of these pictures of Juan and this woman. So that makes me feel like even though it seemed as if Karen was faking, when Karen went to, pull something from her phone and Ray was like, don't do it. And she was like, oh, I ain't going to do it then. I was mad at Karen in that moment because I wanted Karen to do it. But I do feel like when it comes to like that etiquette shit, Karen feels like there are certain things she's supposed to fly above, and so she won't really start slinging mud with people the way they sling mud with her. But I personally feel like she should have. I feel like Karen should have put all of that shit out. Karen said she knew on Watch What Happens Live. Yeah, I know she knew. She had to know. And so I feel like she had all of that shit on her phone and still didn't do it because she felt like that wasn't the grown woman thing to do, was not to really put your shit out there like that, even though Robin did that to you. That's Karen proving to Robin that she's better than her. See, I had dirt on you and I still didn't roll over you the way you did me because you and I are two different types of people. That's what that was. And I think that's one of the reasons why Robin doesn't like Karen. And she hasn't liked Karen since the first season because she feels like Karen was always, acting superior to everybody. But essentially, the more we get to know them, I feel like the more we realize that Karen is a better person than you, Robin. She may not be that much of a better person than you, but she's a better person than you. The fact that you were waiting for her to spray Juan's information was the dumbest shit I ever heard. And then it's crazy to me. I feel like in her mind, Karen must be like a scapegoat. Like if all else fails, blame Karen. Why were you antagonizing Wendy? Why weren't you also recording Mia when Mia was the one being physical? You know what? I blame Karen because Karen could have broken them up. It was Karen's fault. Why didn't you tell us about what was going on in your I was waiting for Karen to bring it up. At this point, it's hilarious. At this point, it is hilarious to me how she always finds a way to blame Karen. And I feel like that should let y'all know how much Robin really don't like Karen and how she has gone after and poked fun at Karen during some of the most fucked up times. That's why I have no empathy or sympathy for Robin whatsoever. And whenever Karen wanted to sling mud or bring up that wedding towards Robin, I did not give a shit because Robin did that to Karen over and over and over and over again for seasons. For seasons. And Karen has repeatedly let this shit roll off her shoulder to an extent. This was the first time where she got even as close to as messy as they have been with her when she threw that shit out on the table about Juan and his other woman and all of that. That was the first time Karen has ever really taken it to that level. And it's because she felt like at first it was different. Y'all was coming at me. I could go back and forth with you bitches. But now y'all bringing this bitch in, Sharice, to try to fuck up my marriage. Now y'all really got me fucked up. So now I don't care at all. But I still can only do so much because I'm old school. You know what I'm saying? Yes, exactly. Old school is holding the big spade until the most opportune time. That's what Karen did with the intel. Robin ain't shit. Agreed. Why wait for someone to spray it just to deny it? Robin doesn't make any sense. Okay? She doesn't make any sense. I feel like Robin is so scared of making Juan upset that she acts nonsensical on this show. She acts against her own self-interest on this show and in life because she has attached herself to Juan in a way that I believe is unhealthy. Like, I don't even get it at this point. But if all you do in this relationship is make excuses for a man that is not even there for you, girl, it's still sad. It's still the same, Robin. You marrying him and tapping your ass and pointing your middle finger at us does not change the fact that you were still sitting there alone answering questions about this man cheating on you after you said you couldn't trust him because he cheated on you. And now you're saying he didn't cheat on you even though we know this nigga cheating on you. You can't even keep it real with yourself, let alone keep it real with us. She needs to go. So Andy says after 7 years of them harping on the wedding and 3 years of a long ass engagement, Robin finally got married without Giselle. Juan signed a prenup. It was 50-50. There was no infidelity clause because Robin could be setting herself up. And I was just like, well, Robin, you wouldn't have been setting yourself up that much because how long had y'all been married before cheating rumors came out? You would have been able to collect on that almost immediately. You're stupid. Karen was obsessed with Robin getting married. And Karen was like, you know what? Yes, I was obsessed with Robin getting married. I was. It's just like, you're going to keep saying you get married. Why keep saying it if you're not going to get married? Why keep saying it? And she just kept saying it. And it was like, girl, but you're not getting married, Karen was everybody. Karen was us and we were Karen. Like, yeah, that's what happened. She kept saying it over and over and over again, and it never happened. And Juan never showed up. Juan was always at work. And we were also happy that Juan Dixon wasn't here. That's what we've been seeing for years. Okay? They talk about Juan's other woman. Robin points out that Karen didn't have any evidence but got fake mad at Candiace for saying that she was out in these streets. And, if you don't have any evidence. I was like, Robin, I cannot stand the fact that you only watch the show back for moments where you can go in on Karen. You didn't watch the show back for all of the moments where you were being hypocritical to your situation, right? Because it didn't matter. Because you're that much of a fucking liar that you could really sit there and point the finger at somebody for doing exactly what you and Juan were over there doing. That's the crazy part to me. Okay? So Andy asked Robin why Juan was angry if Karen was lying. And Juan, she was like, just because Juan thinks it's messy and he thinks it's ridiculous. Girl, no, that's not why. It's because Juan is out there fucking around on you and he does not want to have to answer to these girls on this cast every time he get caught up with one of them girls, okay? And that's really what it is. We've never been able to actually make Juan have to answer for anything because because he's never been there. If he was ever on the show, I'm ever at a reunion show, I'm sure somebody would have brought some shit up on Juan. Okay? But because he's never there, because Juan, you're so grateful Juan Dixon is not here because nobody can actually bring the shit up for him to be accountable for, you know? But yeah, no, I don't believe that Juan thinks he's above the show. I think that's bullshit. I think he don't want to get caught up for being on the show. Robin's piss poor family day where she ostracized Wendy. A viewer asked Robin, did she even spend more than $15 on that lame ass family fun day? And she says it was a last minute thing. And that made me think, how last minute? Last minute enough for you to come up with it in the moment so you can ostracize Wendy? That's what I think. I think the only reason Robin did the family fun day was because she wanted to ostracize Wendy. She wanted to make Wendy feel bad. She wanted to get back at Wendy because once again, in a verbal argument, Wendy bested her because Wendy is witty and Robin is not. Robin is just obnoxious and a mean girl. She has to really sit back and think about the stupid shit that she says to people. Whereas Wendy is really astute and on her toes. It's what she does as a commentator. So I think it's so funny that Robin tries to get into these verbal arguments with Wendy, and then when she gets played or is made to feel stupid the way she often is, she then wants to do something even more petty and fucked up to get back at Wendy, like ostracizing her because you can't win in a verbal argument against her. Even though I don't know why you think you should be able to win a verbal argument against Wendy. Why? Why do you believe that? Morgan, thank you so much for the super chat. Rob gives I'm not complete without a man vibes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Doesn't know who she is. Gala, thank you for the super sticker. Video game controller dances goofily under the word hoot hoot. Thank you. All right. But yeah, when they asked that question, I was like, Robin, I think you just kind of let the bag out that the only reason you had that event, and you probably brought it up in that moment because you wanted to make Wendy feel like shit. That was the whole point of that. That was really lame of you. Robin thought Candiace bringing Wendy's kids was a great idea. You're a liar. You didn't think that was a good idea. You just thought that was going to make you look better about not inviting her and her kids. Robin says she would do it again because she couldn't be fake like Wendy and argue with somebody and then act like everything is cool. Oh, you can't? You did it with Ashley. You do it with Ashley all the time. And you were fake with Candiace. As much as Candiace thinks you're a real friend, I believe you're a fucking mole when it comes to Candiace. I think you specifically sought out to be cool with Candiace so that you could like get ammo and information, and so you could, use it against her later on, like, or so that Giselle will know how to move appropriately, or so that you wouldn't be seen all the time as her little underling, as if you were also friends with Candiace. But I don't believe that Robin's friendship with Candiace was sincere. It feels as if it was something done as a strategy on the show in order to make Candiace feel like Robin was on her side. It really put Candiace at a disadvantage because she can't see that Robin is a part of the plot. She can't see that. She can't see that Ashley, Mia's an afterthought, but specifically Ashley, Giselle, and Robin created this plot this season, and it did two things, and I'm sure that's why they thought it was genius. It maligned Chris and Candiace. It also hid what was going on with Juan, and I think that Robin knew very well that them keep going with this shit about Chris, it was going to conceal any real drama or overshadow any drama about Juan because Juan isn't really on the show. So Chris will keep being given opportunities on the show to prove their point that he was being inappropriate with women, right? It was more than one instance. Juan is not giving anybody that opportunity, okay? So for me, I felt like they worked in tandem to push this whole thing about Chris, even though they knew it was bullshit. Yeah, I do. What else? Wendy says that Robin really didn't want her kids there, and she knew that Candiace wasn't going to be able to bring Wendy's kids, but it was a way to not look bad, even though she was ostracizing Wendy and her kids. Like I said, Andy asked about copping. I didn't think he was going to ask about that, and Juan failing to report harassment. Robin says the things that Juan allegedly did aren't true. So are you saying that he did not ignore the kid who said that he was being harassed? Because that's what was said, that he ignored it. Okay. I don't know. More information is gonna come out about that, I'm sure, but I don't feel like Juan did right by that kid based on what I've read, based on who he's married to. Robin is a bad person to me, so it only makes sense for Juan to be a bad person as well. Um, Robin says he handled it how she would want someone to handle it if it were her kids. You're lying. You'll do anything to protect Juan because you are desperate to keep him. Like we always thought. We always thought that she was desperate to keep him, and she thought divorcing him was going to force his hand, but it didn't. And I don't know what happened when they got back together or why they decided to get back together. I feel like they were never really clear on what happened in their relationship. And I feel like that's another reason why Robin should be fired. We're not even really clear on if he was actually out the house at any point, because they made it seem like he left for a little while, he was dating other people, and then y'all got back together and he moved back in. Why? And for what? If you were still mad at him for cheating on you. Robin and Juan's relationship has never really made sense, and it's because they've been lying the whole time. Okay. Thank you, Fee, for the super chat. Rotten Robin, not a brunch. Why an event with kids? Right. Like, why not do something else? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But I do feel like it was like, because she knew not inviting Wendy, they had been ostracizing Wendy. Maybe she really was trying to hurt Wendy, and really hurting Wendy was not inviting her kids. Like ostracizing her kids because of her. I think Robin is fucked up enough to do something like that. I think she knew that would hurt Wendy's feelings. It may not hurt Wendy's feelings for her to not invite her, but it might hurt her feelings a lot for you to ostracize her kids. Raymond, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Miss Bondy, just want to send you some love. You're my cousin in my head. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, y'all know we family. But yeah, I think Robin is gonna always lie to protect Juan's image no matter what. Andy asked if she's saying the victim is lying, and she says no, just that Juan didn't do anything wrong, and that Juan was used as clickbait to push the story. And I'm like, no, Juan was not used as clickbait to push a story. Juan was involved in a really messed up situation at the school. He hired this coach. He did not fire the coach when it was brought to him what was going on. The kid actually ended up losing his scholarship. Okay, and I think had to drop out of school, I believe. Either way, the kid is the one that was harassed. The kid is the one that was the responsibility of the adults, the assistant coach, and the head coach, that is Juan. So yeah, it feels as if it wasn't clickbait. He was involved in a messed up situation, and it seems as if he did what you would do in a situation, which is turn your head if it's something that you don't want to deal with. It's some gay shit. So Juan don't want to be involved, so he just turned his head. Just like you do whenever, Wendy is getting drinks and purses thrown at her, then you turn your head because you don't like her and you don't want to get involved. But you do want to malign her, so you pull out your phone so that you can record her. I'm sorry, I forgot. You took the extra step. Juan wasn't that thirsty. Robin says at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen, so people shouldn't judge. It's like, Robin, why don't you take your own advice? You should take your own advice. Let's not forget the way you made a big deal out of Karen's taxes. And then when we circle back around to your tax situation, you hardly wanted to give any information. Then you kept trying to out Karen for sleeping around on Ray. Meanwhile, you mad now that people are outing Juan about what he's doing. You're a hypocrite all over the fucking place, Robin. So don't give us no speech on not judging anybody because we don't know what's going to happen. Bitch, how about you take your own advice with your old hypocritical ass? All you do is judge and talk shit about other people. And then when they try to call you out on your shit, you like to act delusional and confused and play victim. Oh, Lord. Oh, thank you, love. I appreciate y'all. Sometimes I be feeling like my time here is coming to an end, girl. Um, the men come out, and it's the Chris season. Juan still isn't there. Ray is always there. And of course, Gordon is gonna be there. Okay, he ain't got nowhere else to be. Um, whose money is bankrolling Wendy's business endeavors? I don't know what person asked that question, but I found that question really annoying. Harper, as Eddie put it. I love Eddie, child. Eddie was like, it's a joint effort, but she does dig deep in the pockets. And I was just like, so when white women do this in their relationships, do you guys ask them those same type of questions? As if the money is separate? You do understand that when two people are married, their money comes out of the same pot, basically. Even if they're both bringing in money, whatever money she doesn't have to ask him for, whatever money he doesn't have to ask her for, whatever their money is responsible for, keeps the other person from having to pay for this because this person pays for it, and vice versa. So, and they both work, obviously. So that question about who's bankrolling Wendy's business endeavors, is it coming out of her check or his? They're married, you idiot. They're married. I often wonder, like, do y'all ask white women these questions? Or do you only like to think of black women as the ones whose pockets are separate from their husbands? Make it make sense for me. I like Eddie, though. I was just like, what kind of fucking question is that? They're married. It's all their money. What are you talking about? Y'all, Olivia is in the backyard barking her head off, and I am trying so desperately to ignore her. Anyway, Gordon cries about Mia's rash. I was so confused and taken aback because I was like, I thought we had already determined that Mia misunderstood the doctors and it was simply a rash gone awry. Now, see, Gordon, I almost feel like you was really crying about your own situation and about you possibly not being here. I think it was like a transference of emotion. I think that you used your own situation to garner the tears for this situation because it was a rash. You know your wife was lying. You were the one actually going through cancer and nobody said a fucking word about it. Yes, fire Mia. Gordon admits they lied about Jacqueline and Gordon. Basically, Gordon says that he hasn't had sex with any of Mia's friends, not even Peter's girlfriend, who Mia lied and said that Gordon and her had sex with him. Gordon and her had sex with Peter's girlfriend the night before she got married to Gordon. And he says it was never any penetration. And everybody starts laughing. He's like, I don't know why that's funny. It's like, because does it matter if there was any penetration? You still put your mouth on like it's still like sex. Even if it's not intercourse, it's still a form of sex. Like, but honestly, I feel like, yeah, I agree. Gordon was crying over his own cancer history. Me too. That's what I think he was really emotional about. And they just kind of, used it for Mia's benefit, her and her rash. Okay. Oh my God. I hope Lyric is getting off soon. Anyway, so Chris gets his turn to speak. Y'all, this is the part we've all been waiting for. And Chris explains that, I'll give it to you, Giselle. Your argument about me asking to go to your room or you saying let's go to my room, even if I had asked you to go to your room, why didn't you just say that you were uncomfortable when you realized your team wasn't in the room? She specifically said he did something to make her feel uncomfortable. He wants to know, what did he do? She goes back, and this is what I can't stand. He asked her a very direct question. What did I do? She goes all the way back to the beginning. He's already explained it. Okay, so we didn't need her to rehash it. But she was doing that so she could then bring back this argument that, well, he lied and said that I asked him to go to my room and I wasn't the one that asked him to go to my room. Why would he lie to his wife and say that he asked her? Basically making it seem like If Chris really wasn't trying to do something, why would he lie to Candiace and say, I asked him to come to my room when it was him that said, let's go to my room? I didn't say that. He said that. Why would he lie about that? Because it's semantics at this point. Because it doesn't matter. Because he said he wanted to talk to you privately. It doesn't matter whether y'all were in the hallway, whether y'all were somewhere where nobody else was around, whether y'all were in your room. It didn't matter. It was just, let's go and talk somewhere in his mind. But see, I'm going to tell you right now, Chris, like I said, this is your fucking fault. This is your fault, Chris. You don't listen to your wife. And I wonder if you don't listen to your wife because you see her the way other people see her. Like, because she says the things that she says, because she's inflammatory, that means that she's not processing things accurately all the time. And she's just, a little overly emotional about things. And so I believe that Chris was going to Giselle's room to apologize on behalf of Candiace. Maybe, smooth some things over so that Giselle and Candiace can be cool. And I think it's because he felt like Candiace can't do this for herself. So I'm going to go and talk to Giselle so that, I can smooth things over for Candiace because she has a hard time, being amicable with people when she's upset. I think that, that's the mindset that he probably had. And I think that that's his fault because if you would have been paying attention, Chris, you would have seen how they treat your wife. Your wife was not wrong. And you, I think, because you don't like when Candiace gets all upset and starts going off at the mouth, every time she does that, you feel like she's wrong. And I really do feel like that's how he's handled her. So whenever other people get mad at Candiace, I think he can see their point of view more than hers. And this is why he got caught up, because he was not believing and not seeing the version of Giselle that Candiace is actually seeing and experiencing. So what does he do? He goes to her room instead of paying attention. Okay, I see it in the comments, y'all. I see it. Today on DJ Richie Sky, okay. He was saying that part that we saw when she was sitting down as she asked Chris, was he mad, that took place after the conversation. Oh, that took place after the conversation? So she was still cool with him after the fact, is what y'all are saying. Okay, got it. On DJ Richie Sky's interview, he said he thinks they tried to set her up to pop off, but when she didn't, they had to go in with him doing something. Okay, because Candiace really did handle herself much better in that last reunion show. You have to watch it. I think he also said Monique was at Karen's party and emailed Candy and told her it's not, I don't know what that means. It's not true. I don't know what any of that means. Okay. Yes. Okay. He said in an interview with DJ Richie Sky earlier, he was inviting, in case y'all don't follow him, everybody in the comments are letting y'all know. Jesus Christ. Inviting Giselle and Robin for dinner for them to talk it out with Candiace. This is his fault, right? Yeah, I did say it's his fault. It is his fault. So he said it was his fault. That's good. I'm gonna have to watch that interview later. We'll talk at the end. Was at the end. Chris also said he was checking Giselle about the okay for Mia to hit her statement. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, Crystal. Quiet as it's kept. Gordon probably don't even have cancer. Another Mia lie. Oh Lord. I hope not. I hope not. Okay, yes. Candiace said that Giselle was at her home a few times after that happened. Giselle should have said something earlier instead of waiting for the cameras. Gotcha. He got to stop the white savior energy and be down for the cause. Exactly. It's Candiace's fault too. She sat around the green-eyed bandits while they planned the takedown of other marriages and she was fine with it. That is true as well. Yep, he said the talk with Giselle was during a break. Okay, got you. So they went back to taping. The will talk. Okay, got y'all. Gotcha. Okay. Still, it doesn't, I understand y'all point, but that doesn't change the fact that the conversation was about smoothing things over for Candiace. And if he would have recognized that he did not need to smooth things over for Candiace Candiace can handle herself. Candiace is a grown woman. If Candiace is not cool with them, she has her reasons. You don't need to come in and smooth things over for her as if she's a child that just doesn't understand the situation clearly. And she just needs an adult to come in and clear things up and smooth things over for her. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. It reminds me of when they went on that group trip last season and Ashley came for Candiace out of nowhere, and then Chris kept trying to remove Candiace from the table as if Candiace wasn't just sitting there eating her oysters. Thank you, Karen, for the super chat. Hi, Bondi. Unpopular opinion. I don't like most of the cast at this point. Nah, okay. Rob, Ankles, Mia, bye. Candiace, problematic. Ashley, just, Wendy, boring. There is nothing positive about the show. I'm tired of seeing black women like this. I get it. Thank you so much for the super chat, boo. Thank you. I appreciate you. So it is lit, girl. It is lit. I hope it is. Make sure y'all like the video since y'all in here. Okay, commenting and shit. Like the video. Okay. So let's see. Chris says that he has lost clients, money, and had to answer to his kids and his family about this. So she needs to spit it the fuck out. What did he do? Giselle says they aren't going to speak if he's going to cuss at her. That's not cool. And this is when Candiace goes off, because you're not going to act like him cursing you out is worse than you lying on him. Like, he has a right to curse you out. Candiace says what's not cool is your gutter snipe bitch ass lying on my family. She says she felt he had a lot to drink. It's what Giselle said. Giselle said she felt that Chris had a lot to drink and she was uncomfortable. And then when she talked to Cal the next day, Cal said that Chris knew that Cal had left. And he was like, okay, so was he the only person in your team? And she says, well, my other person had already left. He says, well, how am I supposed to know that? And then on top of that, I left the door open. She was like, no, Chris, the door closed behind you. He was like, no, I opened the lock latch so that the door was open so that people wouldn't think anything. He even said that. And she says, no, that did not happen, Chris. That did not happen. And I'm like, Giselle, you couldn't even remember what the fuck Chris was trying to talk to you about. So at the end of the day, I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. She says the only reason that she said something was because Ashley told her about the DMs. And I'm like, yeah, that's what started y'all wheels turning about this plot to make it seem like Chris was grabbing ass. And I'm annoyed with it because y'all made a bigger deal out of Chris not touching anybody than y'all did out of Michael Darby actually touching people. Michael Darby, for a season, they were talking about him and he wanted to suck on Juan's peen. The time he grabbed Andrew's ass, the cameraman's ass, he grabbed Ray's ass, he grabbed Andy's ass. He has been grabbing men's asses all up and through the show, and it has not been talked about nearly as much as y'all have talked about Chris and the shit that actually never happened. It's very weird. But to me, here's the thing. This whole season, Giselle has been maligning Chris, and we've been seeing it. Production is proving that Chris didn't do anything wrong. You may have felt a way, but Chris didn't do anything to you, okay? And he removed himself when you asked him to. So he did not do anything to make you feel uncomfortable, but you were uncomfortable. You feel like somebody needs to be responsible for just the mere fact that you were uncomfortable. If that ain't some white woman shit, I don't know what is. I'm sorry, y'all. Can y'all tell me another group of people that can cry and call the police and act a fool over their slight discomfort? Can y'all tell me another group of people that's allowed to do that and it stands? Besides white women. Can y'all tell me what Robin and Giselle look like? Even Karen? Can y'all tell me what they look like? Because when they did a TikTok not too long ago and it was Giselle, Robin, Sharice, and Mia, and Ashley, I thought it was a group of white housewives. I had to zoom in. So now that I have already let y'all know that, yes, a part of being light complected and light skinned is looking closer to being white. In case that was lost upon anybody. So when Candiace calls out the fact that it is Giselle's proximity to whiteness and her looking like a privileged white woman with her neck up in the air, it is that exact entitlement that plays on this show. That's the whole thing. That's the colorism, baby. The fact that Giselle, in her proximity to whiteness, can say that somebody's husband did something to her even though they didn't. That she can act as if she's the moral police and tell Monique she's a bad example for black women and bring a security guard against her husband on the last reunion show. But when Michael Darby was grabbing asses and Chris was getting all upset, I didn't see her calling for security then. She's absolutely colorist. Do you not see how she handled the situations with the white men different than she handled the situations with the black man? When Chris and her got into a verbal argument and it wasn't even on camera, she brought a security guard and all of that because of Monique and Candiace's fight and was acting like she needed security against Chris, and they cut all of that out of that reunion show that Monique was on last. Y'all don't recall? Candiace was not wrong. Candiace was not wrong. Giselle continued to malign Chris. Even though she said she was going to apologize for calling him a sneaky link, she still is saying because she was made to feel uncomfortable, he needs to be responsible for her feeling uncomfortable. Even though he didn't do anything, baby, that is white women. I'm sorry, white women, but y'all are the only ones that are really allowed to do shit like that. To be uncomfortable. Oh my God, he made me uncomfortable. Someone call the police. I'm so uncomfortable. Oh my God, what are you doing? It's a white woman thing. It is. So when Candiace points it out and everybody acts like what Candiace said about her white looking ass, everybody gets more upset at Candiace pointing out the fucking obvious than they did about what Giselle did. Giselle's continuing to say this man did something and should be held responsible for her discomfort, even though she did not say anything. Chris used a perfect example about how she's always talking about his brown penis and it makes him uncomfortable, and he's never said anything about it, so he can't expect her to apologize to him because he never expressed it to her. But either way, Giselle throws out that apology, about the sneaky link comment, and Chris accepts the apology. Chris, you're an idiot. You shouldn't have accepted the apology. You know why you shouldn't have accepted the apology? Because she was still saying you did something wrong to her. Even though she couldn't say what it was, she just was saying you were in her room and it made her feel uncomfortable, and who should be the blame for that? Nobody, bitch. Nobody should be the blame for you feeling uncomfortable. Go get some fucking therapy. Or better yet, be a little bit more preemptive. As soon as you walked in the door and realized wasn't nobody in there, turn your ass around and say, hey, I'm not comfortable with us being in here by ourselves. Okay, cool, we can talk out here. That's all it would have been. That was a fake ass apology. It wasn't real. It was done because you know how bad that sneaky link shit looked. That made it look even worse. But when Candiace points out that your white looking ass thought that you were going to get away with maligning her husband in such a manner over a lie, it was because of your light skin. Yeah, it is. That's what the whole colorism thing is about. And I can't stand the way Ashley and everybody else, and I'm going to get to Wendy, decided y'all wanted to flip it to make it seem like now Candiace is not upholding the rules that they're putting in place to counteract the colorism. When at the end of the day, the main perpetrator of said colorism sat there and didn't say a fucking word. Wasn't nothing resolved in that conversation about colorism. And if the only thing y'all learned was to respond more to Candiace saying the truth about how white Giselle looks versus being upset at the lies told on her husband, that's the colorism, baby. And it doesn't matter that Chris is white. It doesn't matter that Chris is white, because all of this is to piss Candiace off and get Candiace to do exactly what she did, which is say something out of her mouth that was so, kitchen table talky, that everybody was going to feel like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. That's exactly what they did. You can't say she has white privilege. She's not a white woman. Mia, shut the fuck up. You have no Like, you're not even smart enough to even contribute to this conversation. Please sit on the end and shut up, okay? She does have proximity to whiteness, just as Robin does, just as Mia does, just as Ashley does, just as Karen does. At the end of the day, the point was proven because y'all got more mad that she pointed out that the woman who has been doing the colorism is light skin, because that's what light skin is, baby. It's looking closer to whiteness. Your proximity to whiteness. That's exactly what the fuck that means. That's what they were calling out. So Candiace calling it out in a way that didn't sound nice to y'all. I'm sorry. She said my husband tried to assault her and I'm supposed to be nice about it? That's colorism. You think you can tone monitor me after you've accused my fucking husband of something egregious, of something utterly disgusting and ridiculous. You sat on this stage and gave a fake apology and you still kept that same story going that he did something to you when he in fact did not. Yet, I'm calling you white ass, white looking ass is worse than you lying on my husband? That's colorism. Y'all being more upset about the truth versus the lie that Giselle told. Y'all feeling like the shit that Giselle and them did isn't as serious as Candiace saying that Giselle looks white, which we all know she does. Yeah, y'all, that's colorism, because you're more upset about something because it came from someone who you don't have that halo effect around. Anything Candiace says that's out of pocket, y'all, oh my God, oh my God. So Ashley, when you decide to enter the chat and bring up reverse colorism, I'm gonna remind you to shut your biracial ass the fuck up. I'm sorry, did it hurt your feelings that I called you biracial? You're biracial. I'm really tired of y'all being mad about being called white. I'm really tired of, like, white people. I'm talking about white people, because I saw something where, he was called white. He was like, oh, so you're racist. I'm sorry. You being called white makes me racist? Isn't that on your job application? White American? Ain't it crazy how the very people that created these social constructs of color, now when we say white in the same way they say black, now all of a sudden we're racist because you've been pointed out for being white? Honey, you're white. Deal with it. Giselle, you look white, and you know you do, and you love the privilege that gives you. So when people are pointing out that they're acknowledging that that's what you're doing, deal with it. Deal with it. Ashley, you're the very reason why, and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it as much. I understood it, but I didn't understand it as much until this moment. This is why whenever people talk about colorism and how dark complected people feel about what they go through, why nobody wants to hear about how your dark-skinned aunties treated your light-skinned self bad. Nobody wants to hear about that. Nobody wants to hear about it. Because in this very moment, Ashley tried to use her calling out how Giselle looks as the same thing as y'all ostracizing Wendy or treating Candiace as if she's the fucking devil, while ignoring the aggression of Mia, ignoring the aggression of Robin, ignoring the lies of Giselle. Y'all can ignore all of that. Y'all can act like none of that happened. But let Candiace call somebody white looking and now we've gone too far? That's colorism, when you're more mad about the truth than you're mad about a lie, because the lie came from the pretty light-skinned girl and the truth came from the dark-skinned girl that you don't particularly really like, because she gonna say some shit that you don't like. I'm sorry. It's how I feel. It's how I feel. I feel like Candiace had every right to go for her neck. I would have called her a powder cake, white looking old vagina neck ass bitch, and would have looked at everybody in that face and I say something so I can come at you too. Now let's talk about Wendy. Wendy recognized in the moment that what Candiace said was inflammatory and was trying to give Candiace an opportunity to clean it up for the public's sake. You see, Wendy is always in CNN mindset. It wasn't about her being a pick-me. It wasn't about her not having Candiace's back. It was about her recognizing in that moment how everybody was going to view Candiace. And she was trying to give Candiace an opportunity to clean it up so that everybody wouldn't leave with that bad taste in their mouths. But see, Wendy, what you needed to understand is that at the end of the day, once somebody has, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you, I told Lyric, I said, I don't know if I would have been able to stay in my seat if I was sitting there as Giselle continued to act as if my husband is the type of person that would lie to get a woman in a room alone so that he can take advantage of her. I probably like I don't want to fight. I'm grown. I don't want to fight. But that type of shit right there, would make me think long game about how to hurt you. Like I would think long game about how to hurt you. I would sit on it. And I would devise a plan. I would devise a perfect plan on how to embarrass you, on how to malign you, on how to ruin you. I would be formulating a plan. I would be formulating a plan, Giselle, to make you miserable thereafter. If I decided to have enough self-control not to put my hands on you. Because I know how Candiace loves her husband. I know how I love my husband. And it's one thing for a man to actually be fucked up like Michael Darby and Juan and protect their image. That's a whole nother thing. But for somebody to be lying on your man and you know that's not his character, that's the type of shit that would make me want to put my hands on somebody. That's the type of shit that would get you dragged by your bouffant. Okay? That's the kind of shit that would make you have to, fight, Giselle. Make all them little rhinestones come off your dress. Because that's the type of shit, like Candy said, don't fuck with my mama, my money on my man. Okay? And lying on somebody like that would really have, it would have been hard for me to stay in my seat. I'ma just keep it a buck. So moving forward, if everybody on this show, Candiace, if next season your outlook on life is not finding a way to fuck Giselle life up, I have no respect for you. Okay? I have no respect for you because I would be trying to destroy her. I would be looking for any way possible to harm that lady's psyche. To make her feel bad about herself, to have her in her bed crying in a fetal position. Absolutely. Because you don't get to lie on my husband and then be indignant about it when you're being called out about your lies. When it's being seen that you full of shit and you still stand on it. You want to die on this hill. Oh, I'm glad you want to die on this hill because I'm going to have fun thinking of all the ways to harm you in the upcoming season. And it don't have to be physical. It don't have to be physical. But when I tell you there won't be a day where there won't be a smart comment said from my direction to hers. When I tell you there will be a read every time she says something, y'all will get fucking sick of me making smart comments. And I would be like, she lied on my husband. I will do it until I am tired of doing it. Yes. Yes. Y'all think that anything Candiace said, if y'all think anything Candiace said could be as bad as what Giselle did on that stage, I don't even know why you follow me. I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all wanted, that left a bad taste in y'all mouth for her to say white looking ass. But I would like for y'all to stop getting offended by some shit that other people created. Black people didn't create the race system. We didn't create this. Y'all said y'all was white and we was black, and now you mad about it? Anyway, y'all. So, Juan doesn't watch the show. Does he not? He does like a drunk Robin, I'm sure. I'm sure he likes a lot of drunk women. Wendy explains that, she did not kiss Mia, but everybody showed their coochies to one another. And Mia played it up in front of everybody because she likes to play it up. That's what she do. Ray says the allegations about Karen were nasty. Karen couldn't help but react. Karen says, how did you feel about those rumors? And he said they were bullshit. Karen says a pic from the back is not proof and she was only in a bar. Giselle says you didn't have any proof about wine. And it's like, I wish y'all would stop saying that when y'all know people have proof on wine. Like, y'all sound so fucking stupid. Giselle, Robin, y'all sound so stupid pushing this when we know that there is proof. It's just that it had not come out to the public yet. But there was proof. So then Robin takes this moment to be a even, like, this is what I'm talking about. She can't stand Karen so much. When I tell you, I promise you that it probably made her so mad that Karen always has Ray to come and sit behind her and support her. That probably ate Robin's ass up once again. Even though you just married that nigga, he's not here for you once again. And we know it wasn't his work schedule because somebody pulled up the fucking player schedule and saw that he was off during the time of the damn reunion show. Somebody pulled it up online because you can go and look at the player schedule online. Anyway, so Robin says that she wants to call out the fact that Karen basically accused Juan of SA when she said he hugged her. Were you accusing him of something when you said he hugged you? And I was just like, Karen did not say that Juan assaulted her. She said that he made her feel uncomfortable, just as Giselle said. So it's very weird for me that you can't understand that your husband actually touched somebody and they were made to feel uncomfortable. But you want us to understand how Chris merely being in the room, we should understand how that made Giselle feel uncomfortable, right? See, that's what I'm talking about. Big fucking hypocritical ass mess. And you go out of your way to go after Karen. And don't realize every time you open up your mouth and say something about Karen, you putting your foot in your own fucking mouth. Because we can say the same thing about Juan. Every single time we can say the same thing about Juan. You're not smart. Not at all. And to me, Candiace, I'm even looking at you like, bitch, why were you still considering this woman your friend after all of this? Like, it's ridiculous. I'm glad that they went ahead and did that because it doesn't matter what you say, Robin. If he hugged her and she felt uncomfortable, and then you even said that you couldn't even argue that at the table. You couldn't argue yes or no, but you trying to make it seem like Karen was lying. But you already said that you couldn't dispute what Karen said. You already said that shit earlier in the season. So that's how we know you went and watched the shit back and thought that you could use that as an example, piggybacking off of the situation with Giselle. And then you're going to sit up there on Watch What Happens Live and act like your situation with Juan was separate from them trying to malign Chris. But it wasn't. Because in this exact moment, you use what happened with Giselle and Chris as a way to say, oh, well, what about what Karen's doing? She's doing the same thing. But she's not. She's not. All Karen said was, he hugged me and he made me feel uncomfortable. He actually did something to make her feel uncomfortable. He wasn't just in the room. But see, your husband not here to answer for that shit. So it would be nice if you would just shut the fuck up. Fire her. Anyway, they end with Candiace's song, which was really cute. And Robin's whack ass interview. Juan's woman and him didn't date. He only met her once. She came to Maryland for a Ravens player. She lost her wallet. Blah, 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 blah. It made them pause the wedding, but he didn't cheat. Blah, 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 blah. Andy asked how she stayed silent about her own stuff when she's a part of the conversation with Karen and Candiace. She could have said she understood Candiace because she's had the allegations thrown her way about Juan, but she didn't because she only pretends to be friends with Candiace. This was the moment for me because Andy pointed that out. He was like, well, everything that Candiace was going through with those allegations, you never once said to her, oh, they were making allegations about Juan, so I understand how you feel. If she was really Candiace's friend, she would have wanted to help Candiace or make Candiace feel better about the situation, and she never did. And that's because she's not really Candiace's friend. She just uses Candiace. Candiace probably has not said a lot of shit that she would have said. That's why. That's why. I think Robin realized that if Candiace gets tea on y'all, Candiace will spray that shit. So be cool with Candiace so Candiace doesn't spray your information. And also so that you could kind of know what's going on with Candiace in case she gonna spray Giselle about something. You can give Giselle the heads up. That's why Robin befriended Candiace. So that whenever tea came out, she friends with Candiace. Candiace ain't gonna spray her because I bet y'all Candiace knew all of the same. Everybody on the fucking cast had the same tea on Robin. Everybody, and nobody sprayed her. I wonder why. I wonder if the colorism got something to do with it. Robin doesn't understand why Candiace is upset with her, even though she defended Chris. I'm like, initially, you later on said that Candiace was blowing it out of proportion, and you were one of the people that actually pushed that story that Chris touched somebody's thigh or leg inappropriately. You actually said it in a confessional. So at the end of the day, you weren't really trying to, help Chris and Candiace out in that situation. You were just trying to separate yourself from that shit on camera. But I think behind the scenes, you were helping Giselle and Ashley push that storyline along. Y'all disliking the shit out this video. Okay, listen, I thought I was doing better by now. I guess y'all still don't like it. And she also had reason to bring her situation up because of the wedding. She keeps mentioning Karen. I told y'all that. She gonna keep blaming Karen. Robin says she has to think about wine in this, meaning that everything she does is usually about wine. It's all about protecting Wine's image. If you are going to protect his image to the point of fucking up your check, then you need to get off this show and go be that man's wife. But he can't financially support you, so that's why you still here. And she feels like putting Karen on blast for cheating is different than what? I don't know. Putting Karen on blast was different than everybody putting Juan on blast, I guess, because she wasn't telling on the husband. She wasn't telling on Ray. She was telling on Karen. Even though that hurts Ray and Ray is collateral damage, it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. Sure, Robin. You're a hypocritical ass mess, okay? And she feels as if when she defends him, she's defending them both. And I'm like, that's because you're a male-identified pick-me with no real self-esteem. Oh, Lord, the low self-esteem, the thirst, the obnoxiousness is killing me. It's killing me softly. Okay, let me see what y'all are talking about. I feel like I missed some super chats. Okay. Hey, Fee, thank you for the super chat, love. Agreed, Wendy's a political commentator for a living. Her interjection felt like respectability politics, but she was really trying to prop Candiace up. She really was. It wasn't about being on them other bitches' side. It was about helping Candiace clean it up because she knows how Candiace's words can get her in trouble. But I was on Candiace's side. I call her a white looking ass bitch. Oh well, she'll be okay. Y'all can all agree she looks white, right? It doesn't matter that she's black. She looks white. We can say that. That's not offensive. If you look something, you do. And you know you do. So stop it. Anyway, Angie, thank you for the super chat. Bondi, my husband is 6'4" and I'm 5'1", but lie on him if you want to and watch me go all the way off. Thank you for the super chat. And you know I feel you. Okay, Lyric is 6'3". Okay, I'm 5'3". It's the same vibe. Stab, stab, stab. Lauren, thank you for the super chat, boo. Giselle looks salty seeing Rob's marriage replay. The fact that she wasn't there, Giselle was actually mad that she wasn't there. That was hilarious. I also feel like Robin, are you really friends with Giselle, or are you only friends with her out of like this mean girl obligation on this show? It almost makes me feel like Robin isn't really friends with Giselle, like not in real life, but on the show, this is the role she plays on the show, so that's the role she's gonna play. Because if Giselle was really her friend like that, I have to understand why you didn't invite her to the wedding. And I would like for y'all to go back and watch that first season of Real Housewives of Potomac, because Robin was actually closer to Charisse. She wasn't that close to Giselle at the very beginning. She wasn't. And she would say when Giselle annoyed her. And as time went on, it was like she fell in line and stopped speaking up for herself and stopped being separate from Giselle and fell into this, it's me and Giselle against the world bullshit. And y'all remember Giselle told her, don't you ever check me in front of people. You check me in private. Ever since then, the show has been way less entertaining. Claudette, thank you for the super chat. Is reverse colorism really a thing? I feel like in the interpersonal relationships of black people, yes. In making the dark, and in making the lighter, skin cousin feel bad because all of the cousins is dark skinned and y'all think she thinks she better, so y'all gonna bully her and treat her like shit. Yeah. In the area of that, in having a grandmother or grandfather that's dark complected and were treated badly by light skinned people. So when they have light grandchildren or light family members, they act out their revenge on those light complected family members because of how they were treated by light skinned people. Yes, that happens. Absolutely. But when we're talking about how the world and how everybody responds to skin tone, everybody responds like you're closer to white, you're better. You're closer to white, you're cleaner. You're closer to white, you must be smarter. You're closer to white, you must be more attractive. Like, that's how they think about it. That's how the world thinks about it. That's why people are bleaching their skin from Asia to Africa, baby. It's because everybody is being taught that being lighter is better. And I don't understand that because we live on a planet that thrives in the sun. Melanin is merely our natural protection from UV rays and the sun's harmful effects. That's all the melanin is, child. Okay. So not wanting something that makes you more equipped to live in your environment is stupid. But I'm gonna let people be ignorant and I'm not gonna get upset. Only one Adrian, thank you for the super chat. Giselle walked back that sneaky link comment because she knew it was a lie. If he actually flirted with her, she would have stood 10 toes down on it. Yep. She lied about the whole thing. I think the whole moment was just blown out of proportion. But reverse racism is only like really real amongst black people. But in the system of the world, in jobs, in in actual business, in systems where, the schools and in the banks and how you treat people, no. The lighter you treat better. Absolutely. In outside world, the lighter you treat better. Now, because of the way racism has all of these nasty, funky ways of working itself out, of course, you're going to have dark-skinned people that decide when they have the power position to exact that same type of negative, those negative feelings. They put that shit on lighter complected people when they have the power because that's been done to them. It's the exact same thing with colorism and racism. Colorism is light-skinned black people treating darker-skinned black people the way white people treat them. Hello. That's all it is. It's you were taught that this makes people better, so you're responding or you're, reacting to the trauma of racism. That's really all it is. Okay. I read this one. I was trying to make sure I didn't miss any. Thank y'all so much for all of the super chat support, all of the likes. I hope y'all liking the video as much as they disliking it. Okay. All right. I think I'm done. I think we talked enough. I'm definitely gonna come to y'all for another BondyBlue show tomorrow. So if you're not a member, become one. My great grandmother hated my aunt since she was born for being lighter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it definitely happens in families for sure. But when we're talking about how the girls down to the bank are treated or how you might be treated at your job and all of that, that's always lighter is better. They think light skin is pretty even if you look like Rolling Ray in the face. Child, you ain't never lie. And that's so sad, child. That is so sad. Yes, unfortunately, there are a lot of dark-skinned people who will bully light-skinned folks due to their own insecurities and inner jealousy. But that's not what happened on this show. Just to be clear, that's not what's happening on this show. Thank you, Jay Wilson, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. This got me through my last 2 hours of work. All right, Scotty, what's up, my baby? I'm happy I got you through your work day. All right, y'all. I need to rest vocally and go see why my dog continues to bark like she don't have food and water outside. Okay? I love you guys so much. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all evening, and I plan on doing the same. I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.